I am continuing in my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am continuing reading in a chronological order, according to event, not according to publication or volume, so I'm skipping around a bit as I move along. We continue now with 1 Corinthians. Again, Paul is on his third missionary journey. He's been going through Galatia, and he is now in Ephesus on the west coast of Asia Minor. And while he is here, he has been getting word back from Greece and the different churches that he has set up there. Corinth, in particular, is causing some concerns. He has gotten a report from Apollos in his missionary efforts. The house of Cleo has sent some reports, and they have sent a letter from Corinth to Paul, and he is responding to all of this. In the last chapter, chapter 1, he commends them for their faith, chastises them for being divided, and tells them that we don't approach Christ through philosophy. Simple truth, not philosophical reasoning, is how we preach the gospel. That's where we left it. In this video, we have a Joseph Smith translation. And what the Joseph Smith translation is, this is a translation or correction done by Joseph Smith to restore those passages that have been lost or corrupted over the years. We now pick this up in chapter 2. And I, brethren, when I came to you, came not with excellency of speech or of wisdom, declaring unto you the testimony of God. For I determined not to know anything among you, save Jesus Christ and him crucified. And I was with you in weakness, and in fear, and in much trembling, and my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit and of power. That your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God. Howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor of the princes of this world that come to naught. But we speak the wisdom of God in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom which God ordained before the world unto our glory, which none of the princes of this world knew. For had they known it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. But as it is written, eye hath not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which God has prepared for them that love him. But God hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit. For the Spirit searcheth all things, yea, the deep things of God. For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of man which is in him? Even so the things of God knoweth no man, but the Spirit of God. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit which is of God, that we might know the things that are freely given to us of God. Which things also we speak not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth, but which the Holy Ghost teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. For who hath known the mind of the Lord, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Christ. This chapter is a comparison of man's wisdom and learning compared to God's wisdom and instruction. We learn things of this world. Science can teach us things of this world. It can't teach us things of anything beyond this world. Our science can only tell us about mortality. It cannot tell us about what came before mortality or what will come after. We are confined in our own reasoning to what we experience and what we know here. But God, through his Spirit, can enlighten our mind and teach us things beyond our own experience, beyond our own knowledge, beyond mortality. And when we learn through the Spirit and we teach by the Spirit, that is when people feel the Spirit. That is when the Lord touches their hearts and they can become converted. But if we are trying to teach the gospel through philosophy and through man's reasoning, it will never work. Because men who deny God can never understand the things of the Spirit. You can't understand the things of the Spirit through mortal reasoning. It is impossible. It must be understood through Spirit, through the spiritual reasoning. That is what Paul is talking about here. When we remember Christ, he told the apostles, when you go and you are preaching, don't worry about what you're going to say. When you stand up and have to give a defense before kings, don't plan out your speeches. Don't philosophize. Say what the Spirit prompts you to say. The Spirit will tell you what you need to say in that moment. And that is what Paul is getting at here. We don't philosophize with men. We don't try and reason with them, according to the mortality. We reason with them according to the Spirit. As the Spirit instructs us, as the Spirit prompts us, we speak. And if you're not doing that, you can still have a good conversation, but it's not going to pierce the heart. It is not going to enlighten the mind. It is only going to possibly expand the mortal reasoning. I don't know if I'm saying this right, so I'm going to stop talking and instead go to our one Joseph Smith translation that is in chapter 2. And this one is simple but significant. At the end there, where it says, "Even so, the things of God knoweth no man, but the Spirit of God." This, in the King James, indicates that only the Spirit knows the things of God, and we can't. But the correction is, "Even so, the things of God knoweth no man, except he has the Spirit of God." See, people will say in the modern day that God, you can't really know God. God is incomprehensible. He is so far beyond us that you can't know God. But that's not true. We can know God. We can know things of the spiritual world if we have the Spirit. If we are instructed by the Holy Ghost, we can know of the Spirit of spiritual things. We can know God if we are instructed by the Holy Ghost, who is a member of the Godhead. We can never know God if we are only reasoning through mortal philosophy. But if we have the Spirit, we can know all things. I leave that here, and we will pick it up in chapter 3 next, so I will see you there.